guys. Because I know that this is part of your system agreement, and this is that thing that we call the constructive major suit raise. Because I know that we looked at hands where maybe some of you would not have bid the hand. That the bidding is inconsistent with your agreement. And so remember that if you play truly constructive major suit raises and partner opens, say, a heart, with this hand right here on the left where you have 6 points and 3 hearts, that you are going through your forcing no trump. And I know, and as I was just telling Al, Joanne and I talked about this actually even before the fall class, because it was one of the discrepancies I noticed in how I play and how I teach and what was in your system already. And so your style, according to your agreements, is you look at this hand on the left and you say, okay, I have a raise, I have a heart raise, but because I'm at the weaker end of the heart raise, because I only have like 6 or 7 rather than 8 or 9, I'm going to slow partner down by bidding a no trump and then bidding 2 hearts. And it does have that effect. It has the effect of, let's not get partner too excited if they're thinking about trying for a game because I barely have enough to squeak out a response. So that is one of the pros of playing a constructive raise. The question I would ask you is, take a look at this hand on the right, which is a little bit different. You've got 8 high card points, and this time honor doubleton of hearts. So if partner opens a heart, how do you bid this hand on the right? Well, you bid your forcing no trump, right? And then let's say partner comes back and bids 2 clubs. So what do you do with this hand next? Well, you're pretty weak. You're not making a game try, right? So you just want to find your best part score. I would hope that you wouldn't consider passing 2 clubs because opener might only have 3 of them to do that, right? And you wouldn't want to be in a 3-3 fit. So what do? You preference back to hearts, right? And you say, yeah, okay, we'll slow this thing down. You're saying, partner, I'm less than invitational. Let's sign off on the best part score. You do this knowing that it's only a 5-2 heart fit, right? But you do that when you transfer sometimes too, right? When partner opens a no trump and could have a doubleton in your 5-card major and you transfer and drop. So playing a 5-2 fit at the 2 level is not something that we should fear, and I don't think it is something that we do fear. It's a very reasonable contract, maybe your last making contract. And so the reason that I am not a fan of constructive raises, well, one of the reasons, it's not the only reason, is that partner can't tell the difference between these 2 hands. And partner's decision to proceed or look for a game is mostly going to be based on whether or not you have a good fit. And so, while this may not look like a spectacular hand to you, it may be all partner needs to take a shot at game or make a game, knowing that you have an 8-card heart fit. But if you are effectively bidding the hand as if you only have a 7-card heart fit, because that auction normally is this hand more often than not. So, and I just want you to be aware of that. The other thing I'm not crazy about with the constructive raise is that when you, and I'm not saying that I never use it. I on occasion will use it to slow partner down. If I do, it's if I'm responding, usually I'm even weaker than this. If I've decided I maybe want to see if I can keep the opponents out of the auction and have a weak hand with hard support. Like, well, would you consider responding on that hand? An ace and nothing more?
A doubleton.
No.
Yeah. So, let's put it this way. If I did decide to respond with a hand like this, in that case, I kind of like the idea of bidding a forcing no trump and then taking a preference back to heart and pretending like I only have a doubleton. Because that hand is weak enough that
It is.
I don't feel like we're missing a game, right? And it might have the effect of discouraging the opponents from getting into the auction. Not always, particularly against good players who are going to be a little more aggressive about getting in. I just want to bring that up, understanding that you always reserve the right to deviate a little bit, hopefully not greatly, but to make a judgment and deviate a little bit from your system agreements. And if you decide, okay, this is the time I'm going to go through the forcing no trump, okay, or you say, all right, I know I'm supposed to have 8. This time I like this 6 count, I like the 7 count. I'm just going to give partner a direct raise. I will tell you also that one of the problems I have in some of my partnerships, why I can't do that constructive raise, is that our no trump, while mostly forcing, is technically just semi-forcing. An opener gets to pass sometimes, right? And so you can only get away with the constructive raise thing if your one no is 100% forcing, an opener can never pass, right?
Semi-pregnant?
Yeah. Well, that's, yeah. That's how you announce it, because it's like, well, in practice it doesn't get passed very often. That's why we call it semi-forcing. But theoretically, it's either forcing or it's not forcing, right? Let's talk a little bit about another option for you, and that would be a short suit game try. And so this time, if you have, and again, so far as we're looking at all these things, these bids are mutually exclusive, right? So 3 diamonds could be natural. It could be asking for help as a help suit try. It could be a short suit try. Can only be one of those 3 at a given time, right? So if you have the agreement that you play short suit tries, 3 diamonds would tell partner, all right, partner, I've got better than a minimum hand. I've got enough to try for game, and I have shortness. Do we belong in game? Evaluate your hand accordingly. So, I can't even read what I wrote here. Oh. This is what I want. Okay. Okay. So let's say that's your hand. So partner opened a spade, you raised the 2 spades. Legit constructive raise, right? Since you do have 8. It's kind of a pedestrian 8, right? I mean, you don't have any aces. You don't have any singletons. You don't have a 4th trump. It's just a raise, right? Nothing to get too excited about. So 1 spade, 2 spades. But let's say now partner makes a short suit try in diamonds. Has this hand increased in value? If so, why? If not, why not?
Has less losers.
I don't think so.
Well, you're going to trump diamonds in your hand, but
So do you like the fact that you really have no, I mean the 10 is an honor, but do you like the fact that you have no kings or queens or anything like that in the diamond suit? I do.
no wasted value.
No wasted values, right? If you had king, queen, 3rd of diamonds, I wouldn't like that opposite shortness, right?
Right.
That's not what partner wants to see. On the other hand, while you may look at your queen, jack of hearts and think, well, what is that holding worth? Well, if partner is short in diamonds, there's an inference that partner has probably the ace or king, if not both of hearts, right? If partner has either or both heart card, they're gonna love to see queen, jack, 4th, and dummy, right? So I think you can actually draw the inference that your queen, jack are carrying their weight. Partner may also have some club length over there. How do you feel about your king, doubleton of clubs? Probably a good holding. Whatever partner has in clubs. So if partner made a short suit try in diamonds saying, yeah, I have a singleton of diamonds, I think I'd accept. I think I'd jump to 4 spades. So many decisions, right? So many choices. You know, it's hard to say. I don't. I feel like as an opening bidder, I don't feel like I pick up this hand as often. So you know, if you are looking for me to steer you toward one type of game try versus another, I feel like I want to make a help suit try more often than I want to show partner shortness. A lot of times if I have a hand with shortness, and if it's a pretty good hand, I may just be jumping to game anyhow. I may not bother asking any more about partner's hand. I may be close enough that I'm like, yeah, 4 spades, let's take a shot at it. So yeah, it's not to say that it isn't useful. I just don't know that it comes up as often.
So the help suit is almost telling you that you have shortness anyway, right?
It can. If you make a help suit try, it may suggest that you have a singleton somewhere because that's a suit you're not worried about. On the other hand, you might have, well, you know, the more I think about it and tying this back to our one no trump opener, I would say you'd probably only be making a help suit try with like a balanced 15 or 16, but then you open that hand to no trump, right? So unless you don't open that hand to no trump, yeah, you probably do have a singleton somewhere. So then it's just a matter of how do you want to make your game try? Do you want to make your game try by asking for help? Do you want to make your game try by showing shortness? Notice that this is, and again, going back to, if you know, for any of you who have delved at all into Kit Woolsey's stuff, you know, you're taking a different approach. These different game tries, you're trying to decide, and he talks about this extensively in The Language of Bridge, where he says, he's like, a lot of times you have multiple reasonable choices. If you had shortness somewhere and you had a suit that you thought needed some help, in theory, you have a decision to make, and you may be right on the fence, and we can't necessarily say, since you don't know what partner has for the response, right? We don't necessarily know if one game try is going to be superior to the other, or one is going to get us to the good game and the other is not, right? If you are showing shortness somewhere, that's informational, right? You are telling partner something about your hand. If you go through the help suit, you're adopting a different approach and you're asking, partner, do you have help? So you have decisions to make. Now, what do you think about putting the two of these together? Because you can actually do both.
Yeah, how do you know?
All right. So remember where I asked you, I said, okay, let's say our auction starts this way. 1 spade, 2 spades. And I said, what is 2 no by the opener? You will actually find that a number of players find a natural 2 no here to not be necessary.
Yeah.
And go back to what we were talking about a little earlier. If your 15 to 17's already got opened 1 no trump, and this looks like it's 18 or 19, most people are willing to just bid a game, right? Mm-hmm. And you can jump to 4 spades, or you could jump to 3 no and give partner a choice of games. Say, okay, do you want to stay here in 3 no, or do you want to go back to spades? You pick. But, and by the way, certainly, if you are playing your 2 spade raise here as constructive, and you're not, and you're not going through, you're forcing no trump, and this is always a good 8 or 9 points, does the person with 18 even need to ask about being in game? No, you belong in game in that case, right? So that's a situation where your constructive raise is helpful to you, because partner doesn't have a completely trashy response. So in that case, 2 no as a balanced hand really doesn't have much value. So what you'll find is that a lot of players like to use it conventionally here. And the way they do that is this, and this is the so-called Kokish game try that you may see on the handout, or what I sometimes just call a combination game try, because What we're doing is we're merging two methods together. We're saying you can have your cake and eat it. You can make a short suit try, or you can make a help try. The help try looks a little bit different though. So if you play the Kokish here, any new suit by opener, so let's say 1 spade, 2 spade, and then opener bids 3 of any new suit, that's a short suit. And by the way, because got a question about this right as we were going to break, the alertability issue of all this. I don't want to. If you alert all of you actually don't have to alert all of your help suit tries. You have to alert some of them. It's very convoluted. ACBLs. It's an explanation I don't want to get into now, but I can tell you about it later. You're actually not required to alert, but there's no harm in alerting your help suit try. A short suit try would definitely be a required alert because that's sort of an unexpected meaning, right? That a new suit would actually be a singleton. So certainly if you played this as short suit and opener bid 3 clubs or 3 diamonds or 3 hearts, then you would have to alert, and the opponent's asking you to say, well, that's partner's making a game try, and that's shortness in that suit they just bid. So new suit is shortness, and then if you decide you want to make the help suit approach, you go through 2-no. Now, you're looking at 2-no, and you're saying, all right, so that's supposed to be a help suit try. Which suit do you need help in, right? That seems kind of weird. Well, we've gone to the other approach here. And 2-no has now become an asking bid. And what it asks is this. Partner, where do you have help for me? And the response is always the cheapest spot where you have help. So, if as responder I were to come back with 3 diamonds here, it says, partner, if you're looking for help in clubs, I don't have it because I've just bypassed 3 clubs. But I do have some help in diamonds. Does that help you out? Is that what you needed to know? So you go up the line, cheapest place that you have help. And if you've responded, and let's say this 2 spades is not so constructive, and you've really responded on a piece of garbage, you can always do that. That is your weakest response to the help suit try. Anytime you go back to 3 of your trump suit, you're like, partner, actually I have help nowhere. I'm sorry I bid. But if you had a flat 6 or 7, but scattered queens and jacks, nothing that looked real useful, but you were compelled to bid, that's fine. That's when you want to slow partner down. You're probably safe at the 3 level. Partner's got a good enough hand to be making a game try, so we can stop at the 3 level if need be. But you want to discourage partner from going on to game. You can always do that. You can, you're like, I'm rejecting all game tries. Now, in this situation here, where you're going to cooperate and bid your cheapest help, so here you say, I have some help in diamonds. I don't have help in clubs. What about hearts? Maybe, maybe not, right? You have neither confirmed nor denied help in hearts, because we haven't gotten there yet. Because because responder, you're showing where you have help, right? You don't know yet where the opener really needs help. Or opener may be waffling. Like opener, what if opener has a couple of suits where they might be considering a help try? Well, then and maybe they just want help in either or. And that's all they need. They don't want to have trouble in 2 suits. As long as they've got one of their 2 problem suits covered, they feel like, okay, well, we can be engaged. So how would you, if the bidding proceeded this way, how would you interpret it?
He wants help in hearts.
Yeah.
Do you have help in hearts?
No, I think he
Yeah.
just wants.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So this is what we call, this has a name. We call it a counter try. Everybody's trying for games. We're trying all over the place in every way we can think of. Yeah, so you've conveyed some good information about your hand. Partner, I don't have help in clubs. I do have help in diamonds. All right, if your partner really needed help in clubs and wasn't interested in game otherwise, they would bid 3 spades and sign off, right? By the way, anytime either of you bids 3 of the major, that's sign off. That's we're done, we're not going to game, typically, right? That's your sign off bid. So if opener bids 3 spades, you figure they probably needed help in clubs. Otherwise, they'd either be making a counter try or they'd just be bidding a game. Maybe you gave the right answer. Maybe they did want help in diamonds and they jumped to 4 spades next. Or maybe they don't know yet. Just because you have, you might have help in diamonds, but you haven't denied help in hearts. Couldn't we give you a hand like that? Responder? Partner opened a spade, all right. Decent 8 count, including an ace and a king. You raised to 2 spades, right? Partner makes a game try. 2-0. Where do you have help? Got help both places, right? So you'll bid the cheapest help. I wouldn't call my small doubleton help in clubs. I mean, that maybe a doubleton is useful, but when we're after help, again, we're primarily after honors. We're after points here, and maybe a singleton. So if you had a singleton club, would you say you had help there? I don't know. I think I would be inclined to show where I have my honors rather than shortness, because that's really what opener is looking for most of the time. Okay, so you bid 3 diamonds. Partner, I have help in diamonds. Well, if partner comes back and makes a counter try in hearts, I think you should accept the game try because you've got the ace of hearts.
So 3 hearts is shortness in the opener or
It's
strength?
asking for help.
So 3 hearts is a counter. It's a counter try of the help variety, right? It's
Okay.
I asked because remember, partner started with one question. Where do you have help? I have help in diamonds.
Do you have help?
Do you have help in hearts? That's really what I need to know. Maybe partner doesn't need help in either of the minors, but needs help in hearts. And if I heard that with this hand, I would say, well, I think the ace of hearts is help. We better be in a game.
So that thing about 3 points in your honors applies here too.
Yeah, because in both of those suits you've got 4 points.
Right.
You've even got more than the minimum of what you would need, I think, to tell a partner that you have adequate help.
The 3 hearts says the opener needs heart support.
Yeah.
Or has heart support.
No, opener is looking for help in hearts. It is a counter help try. It's another question. Because if you think about it, the only purpose that makes any sense for a partner to bother bidding 3 hearts here is that they need help in hearts. Because if you already told partner by way of your response about 2 suits, right? Because when you bid 3 diamonds showing help there, you also implied that you didn't have help.